My guest this morning here on Jersey Magazine is a repeat guy. It's Chris D'Amico. Chris, good morning and welcome back.
Good morning.
Well,
Thanks for
first of
having me.
all, I want to pick on you for stealing my bass player. Chris has put together a band for a benefit concert that's coming up on November 26th at the Ringside Pub in Caldwell. And first of all, tell us about the band.
Okay. Well, this is my newest and latest and greatest project. This band was put together, believe it or not, it started as I started playing songs during the pandemic and doing just videos. And one night I would just go live like at 11 o'clock at night when everybody was trapped in their houses. And I used to call it Yacht Rock Radio and start playing all the fun yacht rock stuff. And the drummer, Chris O'Hara, private messaged me and goes, were you serious about maybe wanting to put together like a yacht rock kind of band? And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to do a band again. And every time I think I'm out, somebody pulls me back in.
I know the feeling.
And it was a lot of, and you know what? It's a lot of fun, and we're doing yacht and corporate rock. And corporate rock is, Boston Journey, Foreigner, Pat Benatar, all the anthem rock from the 80s and stuff. And the name of the band is Suit and Mai Tai. So it's yacht and corporate rock. And it has 6 members. Listen, I mean, the beauty of the band is it's the best singing band I've ever been in. Every time I've been in a band, there's always been like Crosby, Stills, and Irving. This has got phenomenal singers, phenomenal players. I'm actually, kind of like surprised every now and then when I look around and go, man, look at the talent show I got going on over here. It includes Chris O'Hara, who's an amazing drummer. A bass player named Sean Seymour, I think you know of very well.
Yeah, I know Sean very well. I've had the chance to play with Sean a number of times, and he's really, really good.
Very talented. And an amazingly talented guitar player named Mike Mano, who's just a beast on that guitar. And then we have our vocalists and instrumentalists. We have Lauren Gibbs, who did a lot of pandemic videos with me. We became pandemic famous because we used to make these cover videos back and forth. And
those duets were amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
They really were very, very good.
And it's become an amazing musical partnership. She's a keyboard player and a vocalist. And then we have Ron Ossie, who is an amazing guitar player and vocalist in his own right. And I play keys and sing as well. And the name of the band, again, is Suit and Mai Tai. We're just starting to put it together right now. We're going to have a video. We want to do like the municipal, concerts in the park. It's not made to be a bar band. It's made to be like a theater / concerts in the park. Bring your lawn chair and blanket type of band.
Do you do any Toto?
Yes, we do. We do Hold the Line.
Oh, great.
The best part of the band is it's songs. The set list is songs that everybody knows and loves, but nobody does. Every band seems to have like the girl set list: American Girl, Brown Eyed Girl, Jesse's Girl. We're not doing any of that stuff because it's just so done and so overplayed. So when you come and hear us, you're gonna go, "Wow, I forgot how great that song was." Yeah, because no band does it, and because vocally we just have such dynamic ranges and everything that we can do, we can pretty much pull off a lot of stuff that a lot of bands can't do.
Well, it's the vocals that I think keeps people from doing stuff like Boston and Toto, because Brad Depp had such an amazing voice. The guys in Toto, who I think were incredibly underrated. David Paich, in fact, he was the lead singer on Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
and they didn't. The record company reached out to them and, by the way, you got a club hit. What do you mean we have a club hit? Because Africa was getting played. Then they had to start doing it live, and he wasn't used to singing live.
No.
So that sort of thing. You get Journey with Steve Perry, these guys with incredible range. So given your vocal range, I can see why you guys are doing this and pulling it off.
One of the songs we're doing is Stone in Love. It's because it was, like I said, a labor of love putting this thing together. And again, the reaction that we've been getting from the gigs that we've done like, we call it like a soft opening. We've done a few like little tiny things, and the reaction from the people has been just amazing because of the vocals, and the amazing musicianship behind us. Say that 6 times. Musicianship behind us.
Chris D'Amico, my guest this morning here on the Jersey Magazine at 105.5 WDHA. And Chris, while I could talk music with you all day, I do want to bring to our listeners' attention the benefit concert on the 26th, and it's dual-edged. One is for the Dean Michael Clarizio, speaking of trying to get a word out, Cancer Foundation. I did not know Dean, but I know a number of people who did, and it strikes me that he was just simply an extraordinary person.
Dean was a character. He was one of my best friends. He was my lab partner in 8th grade. That's how long I've known him. Unfortunately, he passed when he was 32, 33 years old from stomach cancer. And one of the last things that he wanted to do, while fighting the fight, was to start a foundation for people who were suffering and families who were suffering from externally from the bills and stuff like that. And basically, the DMCCF, Dean Michael Clarizio Cancer Foundation, was formed by basically his family and his close friends. There's about 8 of us, and we started this thing. And we did our first gala at the Orange Elks, and it was the chafing dishes of sausage and peppers and stuffed shells and stuff like that. And there was a keg outside with the red Solo cups.
You had me at hello.
Yeah, and that was, you're talking about 17, 18 years ago. And now it's gone to where we've given away $1.5 million.
That's incredible.
And our gala is now at the Westmount Country Club every year to over 500 and something people. And we've helped countless people. Right now we're in the middle of our, it's the breast cancer month, and we're donating to people who have breast cancer. We do it in like $5,000 increments, and we just donate. We just take the money. There's no middleman. We take the money and we donate it to people who are in need. That's it. Get it, give it. That's it.
As someone who knew Dean as well as you did, what's it like to know that you're carrying on his legacy like this, Chris?
He would be happy. He would be proud. Like I said, he was a good guy. He was a fun guy. He was a young guy. We were still young. We were still in the prime, when he was taken from us. I mean, I'll never forget when, he first wasn't feeling well. We were all in a car for our good friend Franco's wedding. And he turns to me and he goes, "Man, Demeeks, I got odds. I don't know what's the matter with me." And, 2 weeks later, we found his diagnosis was stomach cancer. And it was just an amazing life cut short. And an amazing human being. He was a good man, and definitely missed.
Chris D'Amico is my guest here at 105.5 WDHA. This event that's on Saturday, November 26th at the Ringside Pub in Caldwell also has a second component to it, and that is kindness for Christopher. And Christopher, as you may know, was Chris's son, who passed away tragically some years ago in a boating accident in Lake Apatcong. And I've said this to you both on and off the air before, Chris. Your strength and your resolve is so inspirational to me, watching you and your family navigate through this. It's incredibly inspirational.
Thank you. Kindness for Christopher is attached to this event because before Christopher passed away, we were doing these shows. We were calling them the Great Night Out. And basically, people were coming. They donated the door $20. They come in, they listen to good music, they get to see some friends they haven't seen in a long time, and they get a great night out. And all the money that we raised at the door that night, literally we're donating to somebody that night. They're going to get a check that night for $5,000. And when Christopher passed away, we connected Kindness for Christopher with that great night out because we do 4 events a year for DMCCF. We do a golf outing. We do this great night out. We used to do a poker tournament. Might come back, might not, who knows. And we do the big gala. The big gala is every March on Dean's birthday, that weekend, that first weekend in March. And the great night out is all mine. And when Christopher passed away, Chris Clarizio, who's Dean's brother, had said to me, why don't we just put it together? Well, because it is a kind act that we're doing this to give money to somebody else, and it kind of partnered up that way. I mean, one last thing I want to say about Dean too is After Christopher passed away, we got pregnant. We had another son, and we named our son after Dean as well. So that's our son Dean's name is named after Dean Clorizio.
So I asked you this with regard to Dean and his legacy. What does it mean to you to carry on your son's name and his legacy through Kindness for Christopher?
That thing got legs of its own, and it's just taken off, and it's kind of like sometimes it's like out of my hands, and it's the most beautiful thing to watch and see. We're just a facilitator. We started it by doing a pajama donation, blood drives, little things like that. And then it turned into its own monster with the rocks, the hand-painted rocks around the world. People were doing this. There was a rock on the Great Wall of China.
Yeah, that's such a great story.
7 years later, they're still talking about him. I mean, Roxbury High School, he would have been a senior this year. The football team at the Roxbury High School brought out his jersey, hung his banner like he was going to be a senior, still included, him and my family in the festivities for, the opening night of the Roxbury home game. They brought his jersey with him everywhere and put it on the bench. It's the first time that Roxbury made the playoffs, and I can't tell you how many years.
Wow.
It's still, I mean, West Orange High School did the same thing for me. That's my alma mater. They brought out the number 86 jersey. Because of the things that we were doing for Kindness for Christopher, and his legacy is it's going to outlast mine, which is, I guess, what you want from your kids anyway, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Absolutely. There's a lot of information that you can find online, by the way. DMCCF.com is the website for the Dean Michael Clorizio Cancer Foundation. What inspired you first to go into music, Chris?
Billy Joel. Billy Joel did it. I always liked music. I sang since I'm 5. And then my father came home with an album from Sears in 1977, 78. And after I got done listening to The Stranger cover to cover, I was done. I was hooked. And that's been it for me. It's funny that Billy Joel watched the Beatles, and that's what he wanted to be. And now he has people like me who watched him, and that's what I wanted to be. I got a chance to do a lot of fun stuff over the years, before I became the wedding singer. And people go, man, you've done all such incredible things. Why are you doing weddings? Well, it's real simple. I got married. And I didn't want to tour and do all of that fun stuff anymore and, see the family and stuff. But I'm still a musician for a living. And it's still blessing me with a lot of amazing people, a lot of amazing moments. It's actually led me into a career of public speaking and this new band project. And I'm still making couples very happy years later. I show no signs of stopping because, Helen Hayes said it best: when you rest, you rust.
Speaking of years, what does it mean when you're hungover in the morning and you didn't drink a single drop the night before?
It means you're in your 50s, Jimmy. You're in your 50s.
I saw that come up. By the way, it did make Facebook Theater. I meant to send it to you. It did make Facebook Theater this past week.
Okay. Yes.
But yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? You don't drink a drop and you wake up the next morning, your head is just pounding. And probably dehydration, but from what?
That's the funny thing. And it's just like, how did you throw out your back? Well, I was running and did this and that. How'd you throw out your back? I sneezed. I slept with the wrong pillow.
Well, so I'm very fond of warning people. Hitting 50 isn't the problem. The problem is that 50 hits back.
Well, it's actual miles. You could be, they say, you're only as old as you feel. Well, I'm like, I haven't been felt in years, and it's like, but 50 is just a number. Yeah. Well, that's not actual miles. Actual miles on this vehicle, yes, I'm driving a 2021, but it has 150,000 miles on it.
Once again, for our listeners who are able to go, and I hope as many as possible can make it, Saturday, November 26th at the Ringside Pub in Caldwell, the charity fundraiser for both the Dean Michael Clarizio Cancer Foundation and Kindness for Christopher. I believe tickets are $20 at the door, right?
Yep, $20. But here's the thing, speaking of being in our 50s, the show starts at 8:30 because we don't do this late stuff no more. It's an early start. Go get something to eat, and come on in. Come see an early show. We're done like nice and tidy at 11:30. You're welcome to stay. The bar stays open at 1:30. This guy doesn't. 11:30 show's over. We hang out. Maybe I'll have a beer with you, and then I'll roll my AARP butt home. You know? But it's a nice and early start at 8:30. So, yeah, please, the Ringside Pub in Caldwell on Bloomfield Avenue.
Chris, as always, thanks for your time and best of luck with the event.
Thank you for having me, Jim. Always great to talk to you.